everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as the links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I'll come to talk to you folks today about Zach Wilson. There's a little bit of, update to his arthroscopic surgery from the coaching staff. And we're going to be talking about some training camp as well. We had, some practices today. We had a practice today, so things are looking good for the New York Jets as we continue forward. So we're going to start off talking about Zach Wilson. As everybody knows, went down in the preseason game. Everybody thought it was an ACL. Turns out it was just a bone bruise and a meniscus tear. He had the surgery, I believe, Tuesday. And surgery's done. And so when he was, Coach Sulla was asked about Zach Wilson's surgery, kind of where he stands, he says, hey, listen, he's already up and walking around and he's in good spirits, right? I said, wow, that was wonderful to hear. Sulla also said that, they're not putting a timetable on his return. They're just going to put him out on the field when he is 100% ready. And I'm like, wonderful news. Okay, wonderful news. All right, first off, to hear that our young quarterback that, at one point we thought was lost for the season, now we're talking, hey, he's up, he's walking around, he's good to go. Everything's going to be all right. And, he's feeling good. That's unbelievable to hear. I don't want this kid rushed back at all. And that was another great point that Sulla made. They're going to wait until he's 100% to go out there and be put on the field. We have seen in the past when teams put football players, guys that are vital to their franchises, put them on the field early or before they should due to injury, and then something else or worse happens. A worse injury occurs, or they re-aggravate the injury they already have. So it's like, don't do that. Let's let this kid heal up and do his thing, and then put him out there when he's 100%. And the franchise and front office, coaching staff is going to follow that. This guy is the future of the franchise. He's the face of our franchise at this point, and we want him to be here for years. Allow him to do that. So I'm excited to hear that Wilson's walking around doing his thing. Heal up, heal up, heal up, and he'll get back when he can. Now, we're going to talk about some training camp, man. These practices. They keep on rolling, baby. They keep on rolling. Even with Zach Wilson, having to step aside because of the injury, we're still looking at our quarterback situation here, right? A lot of people kind of already have Flacco kind of pegged as our, number one starting quarterback. They already thinking, hey, going into the season, it's said and done, he's going to be a starter. But I tell you what, today in practice, Mike White had a very good practice. He did, all right? And he was very hot in the red zone as well. He was finding guys. He hit open guys, got the ball out of his hands quickly, was extremely efficient, and he did his job. He looked really good today. And this is something I talk to Jets fans about. I say, listen, Flacco, I have no issue starting him. But Mike White was the guy that really set things on fire against the Bengals. And he really jump-started this offense when he was dead, doing this exact same thing, being concise, being efficient, getting the ball out of his hands quickly, finding guys left and right, being able to put guys in space, get the ball to guys in space so that they can go on and make the plays. And that's what this offense is all about. Taking what the defense gives you, getting the ball to the guy that's open, and allowing him to go eat up those yards, eat up those chunks of yards, and keep the chains moving. And eventually, you get yourself a score that way. So Mike White looked really good today. Now, Flacco, on the other hand, Flacco had some stutters and stammers, okay? He did. He started practice off kind of solidly, but then it just kind of went awry as practice ended. He had 4 incompletions in a row. Then he turned around, had an interception as well. Now, it could have been 2 interceptions because there was another badly thrown ball. It could have been a second interception extremely easily, but that one wasn't caught. So, Flacco's still, working on some things again. I think in this next upcoming game, we'll probably see him. He didn't play in the first one. Mike White was out there, and then Streveler as well was out there too. So we're going to see what happens as we continue going forward. But everybody kind of shutting the door on Mike White. I'm saying, I think that if he continues to put these type of days together, he might be in a running to be, the starting quarterback when week 1 comes around, but we'll see. We'll see, because Joe Flacco has kind of been the guy that everyone's been talking about. So either way, I'm all good. I just want, our backups to go out there and do their jobs, put us in the best position to get that W, while Zach is sitting on the sidelines if he doesn't end up starting this season. So we'll see. Now, as we continue forward, you talk about the wide receiver position as well in camp. Listen, Jeff Smith looked really solid today. Caught a bunch of really nice footballs. Also had, a TD as well. Let me tell you something. Jeff Smith is really continuing to knock on the door for that fifth wide receiver spot and ask, hey, I need to be in consideration. He's a guy that has been knocking on the door all off season, okay? OTAs, all that stuff. People were talking about how Jeff Smith is going out there, putting things together. He's making plays. You can't ignore him, especially, again, with what we're seeing from Denzel Mims and that spot being wide open. Depends on how many wide receivers we keep, but that fifth wide receiver spot kind of being open right now. Jeff Smith is a guy that is constantly knocking on that door. You look at the game against the Eagles. He was out there making plays, okay? Now, until Denzel Mims really steps up and shows us, hey, he's going to shut that door in Jeff Smith's face so that the spot is his, Jeff is still, doing his thing to be in consideration. Now, you look at Mims, and Mims is a guy that, hey, we all love Denzel Mims. We all think he's phenomenal. He's athletic, all these things, right? That's wonderful. But until he puts it all together, I don't think anybody can necessarily say that his roster spot is safe. I don't think anybody can say that. Especially, again, you look at the preseason game, he had some catches, but he also had a drop. He also had, a legal formation penalty. Like, these are things that we saw last season. All of us were upset with some of the penalties he was doing. He's got to start putting it together upstairs. Now, I know he's out there fighting, he's battling. I'm excited about it, but he's got to start putting things together when the lights are on. You know what I'm saying? So, but Jeff Smith continues to do his thing. Garrett Wilson had a solid practice today as well. He looked good, continued to just really impress people. I think Garrett Wilson has been a guy, from the second we got him in the building, people have been unbelievably excited about, and he's shown the ability already very early. The freakish ability to make catches that really don't look like you should be able to make them. The speed, the ability to get away from the defender. He has that stuff, and he's a lanky guy that can go up and get the football too. So Garrett continues to look good, and Conklin as well continues to get work. Man, had 2 TDs today in practice, so things are looking good. You go to the defensive side of the ball. DJ Reed, back from the hamstring injury. He did have a defensive pass interference today, but, I think he's still trying to kind of clean things up coming back from that hammy. It's good to see him back on the field. He was a guy we were excited about adding to this secondary in the offseason. And you also got Quentin Williams as well. A little bit more on the sideline. He's dealing with an ankle injury. I don't think it's super serious. Nobody's saying it's super serious, but I'm just hoping that it doesn't linger into the season, because we saw him get an injury in the offseason last year, and it kind of lingered into the season and hampered his career, or hampered his in-season production. So, continuing to go forward, man. Things are looking good for the New York Jets. I'm excited about it. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you feel about Zach Wilson already being up, walking around? What are your thoughts about some of the performances we've seen at camp from Jeff Smith, Mike White, Joe Flacco? Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about Garrett Wilson? Let me know. Comment down below. Let's go back and forth. You folks have a good one. Peace.